Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I want to start off by thanking some folks who are here with us, who have made time to be with us today. Supervisor Solis, thank you for being here with us today, but always being in support of, moving forward our communities and investing in them. Senator Maria Elena Durazo, thank you so much for joining us today. Really honored that you're here to share space with us and also throw down with us and how you have been for many, many years for this neighborhood. Thank you. We have Jimmy Kim, General Manager of Recreation and Parks, always throwing down, making sure we have all the resources for our parks, that they're run good, that they have a good team. And a lot of the work that we do has been in collaboration with RAP, so thank you, Jimmy, for your leadership. Dr. Samir Amin, Chief Medical Officer with LA Care. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and bringing your expertise and all the resources y'all are bringing. Shoshana Scholar from the Department of Health Services at LA County with the Office of the Director of Harm Reduction. Let me say that again. I was just so excited to see her because I've known Shoshana for a long time. Shoshana has been on the front lines of this work for decades. And so I got too excited. But let me step back. We have Shoshana Scholar here, Director of Harm Reduction Division at the LA County Department of Health Services. Thank you so much for joining us, for your partnership, and for always just being a leader for folks that have for so long been left behind and forgotten. Thank you for always bringing them forward. We have Marta Arevalo, Executive Director at Carecen. Seeing you 2 times in 1 week for some beautiful events. Yesterday to uplift our immigrant communities, and today to uplift the area of MacArthur Park, which often, I don't know if people know, but it is the Ellis Island of the West Coast. This is where people come to. Our immigrant communities are here and find resources here and community here. And you've been leading a lot of that work to make sure that they don't get left behind. So thank you so much. And I'm going to go because I know it's hot, so I'm going to just keep going, but we'll get through this, okay? We have Mark Laranger, CEO of Chrysalis. Thank you so much, Mark, for your partnership and for the wonderful teams you have with us today. Social enterprise models are just phenomenal. Alex Sanchez, Executive Director of Homies Unidos, here with us today, who's been a great partner around our public safety responses, around building more community and investing in some of the folks who have been impacted by the different systems in our communities and making leaders out of them. They're leaders, but you make them realize it and you invest in them and build that confidence. So thank you, Alex, for your decades of work. And Cristina Navarro, Executive Director of Healing Urban Barrios, another organization doing phenomenal work here in this area, uplifting and building up young people in this community and throughout Council District 1, and giving folks second, third, as many chances as folks need to have that confidence in themselves and build the networks and community they need to thrive. So thank you, Cristina. And Aurora Morales, Program Manager for Center of Harm Reduction, joining us here today. Thank you, everybody. I wanted to take that moment because I want y'all to understand the type of coalition partnerships that it takes to bring these type of networks and resources on board for a community that has been traditionally left behind and underinvested in. And so this is how many it takes a big table to make these things happen. And so thank you for joining us today as we roll out several new initiatives that will support the health, safety, and accessibility of MacArthur Park. I'm proud to be standing here today with an incredible group and coalition of partners who are dedicated to working with us to improve the quality of life for residents and visitors alike in this neighborhood. We're standing in a historic place, and a place that for decades has been overlooked and left without the investment it needs to thrive. Westlake is one of the most densely populated neighborhoods in the city of Los Angeles and in the West Coast. In fact, the density of this area is on par with Manhattan in New York. Over 90% of the people living in this area are renters. This is a neighborhood where many people don't have access to a front yard, a backyard, and over 94% of residents in Westlake don't live within a half a mile of a park. The area we're standing in right now is one of the only public areas of green space that is available for thousands of people who live here. Some of the most pressing issues of our time, issues that we see mirrored across our city and our nation, acutely impact this neighborhood, including the dueling homelessness crisis and opioid epidemic, the lack of deeply affordable housing, and food insecurity. But it is also a neighborhood of hope and promise, and the leaders you see here today are a part of a deep web of people who are working together to realize that promise and deliver for this community. Many of you have joined us over the past year as we have rolled out a series of investments in this park. Just months ago, we announced that we secured $3 million from the city's opioid settlement fund to open a respite center within a half a mile that will provide restrooms, shower, case management, and it will provide treatment referrals, services for people who are also experiencing homelessness. And over the summer, we announced a federal grant to study reconnecting the park by closing Wilshire Boulevard to expand and further activate this space. I do not believe that when we are confronted with multiple challenges, that we focus on just one solution at a time. Our neighborhoods deserve a 360-degree approach that is focused not only on confronting the issues we face, but also on bringing the 21st century investments that will uplift the quality of life for our families who call this area home. Today, I'm excited to share several new initiatives that our office is rolling out to do just that, in partnership with all these amazing leaders that you see here today. In a few moments, our partners from LA Care will speak about a groundbreaking new field medicine program that is launching right here in MacArthur Park. This investment recognizes the extraordinary healthcare needs in the area, and it is going to bring an unprecedented level of access to healthcare and will fill critical gaps in the social safety nets for this neighborhood. Through coordinated services with the county and city departments, community-based organizations, and healthcare providers, this new item is going to bring wraparound services to people experiencing homelessness in this neighborhood with the goal of connecting them to services sustained, that are supported and ultimately stable, shelter and housing. I cannot overstate the impact and importance of this investment. We have to deal with some of these crises in a holistic way, and through primary care, dealing with public health issues is one of those ways. Also with me today are Cristina Navarro, the Executive Director of Healing Urban Barrios, and Alex Sanchez, the Executive Director of Homies Unidos, leaders of two incredible organizations that my office has contracted to deploy Peace Ambassador teams. Through this program, we will now have 2 full-time teams who will work to reduce and prevent violence, engage in de-escalation, and partner with our local clergy, first responders, crisis intervention workers, homeless outreach workers, street vendors, small businesses, park and library staff, and other stakeholders in the area. These teams prevent, interrupt, and reduce community violence and make our neighborhoods safer for everyone. Their approach is rooted in public health, and with their partnership, the city is able to improve the community safety and outcomes for Angelinos in need of services and support. And they also invest in young people. They invest in people who perhaps don't meet that age gap where they're too young or they're in the middle, but like even our elders. So the people that they invest in are the ones that need the most support and need the love and the confidence building. So I'm just really excited that these teams are coming on board, because the work that they do is from lived experience. They'll de-escalate, they'll connect with community, talk with people, meet them where they're at. So I'm super excited about this work. We also know that when neighborhoods are clean, they're also safer and more accessible. This neighborhood has never had the level of sanitation services that are required to keep pace with the density of the area. I'm proud that through partnership with the Mayor's Office and the Office of Community Beautification's Clean LA program, we've been able to utilize state funding to begin working with Chrysalis to deploy full-time teams to address litter, weeds, household items, and illegal dumping hotspots in this area. This program began on November 9th, and in just 6 weeks, the crews have collected more than 2,258 bags of trash, which totals 45,000 pounds. This shows just how significant the need has been in this area. The mayor and I are committed to working with the state to renew and extend the funding for this program, and my office has secured an additional $400,000 for another Chrysalis team that we will be deploying to the area surrounding the Mayfair Hotel, just a few blocks away from here. This is also an area that needs more access to decent jobs with living wages, and I'm proud that we're taking our dedication to improving the cleanliness of this neighborhood seriously. One of the things around dealing with these crises in a 360-degree way is also uplifting the quality of life for people, and that's why we're heavily investing in the cleanliness and sanitation of this area. Today, we're also announcing an additional program built in partnership with Carecen that will deploy another part-time cleaning crew while providing job training and skill development for our local residents, many of whom live in this area. This team is going to work in partnership with our other CD1 clean teams to provide the level of service required to keep this community and our community safe here in Council District 1. We're not done yet, though, because remember I said 360 degrees, many prongs of solutions that we're bringing. I'm also joined today by the team at Homeless Healthcare, which is working with our office to deploy a full-time mobile overdose response team to the park and the surrounding area. This is a team of trained practitioners equipped with naloxone and oxygen who are able to identify and reverse overdoses when they see them. The opioid epidemic continues to impact the entire globe, and it's no secret that the crisis is felt particularly hard in this neighborhood. This team is going to save lives and reduce call volume going to 911, freeing up our first responder resources and helping reduce and prevent crises and deaths. In addition to responding to potential overdoses, they will also be handing out hygiene kits and wound care kits and will participate in our spectrum of care that is saturating the park. This represents a true wraparound approach, and I'm incredibly honored to have this coalition of leaders here today to talk about this new era for MacArthur Park and the additional investments that are going to be of value added to this neighborhood. I believe deeply that government works best when it responds to the needs of community. We cannot solve the problems that face us by operating in silos, and I'm so proud that two of my colleagues who also represent this area and who have been working hand in glove with my office are with me today. I'd like to pass it to my friend, colleague, and mentor, Supervisor Hilda Solis, to talk more about our city-county partnership in MacArthur Park. Thank you.
Oh my God, that's really hard to follow. Let's give it up for our Councilwoman District 1, Eunisses Hernandez. She means business. And you know what? I am so happy that I can partner with her. We've been waiting for this moment for a long time. We had a lot of discussions over the last few years. And yes, I do overlap in this district. We represent MacArthur Park, Westlake, and Pico Union, and so many other parts of Northeast Los Angeles. But I want to tell you, I'm excited to be here because I know that we're on the cusp of really changing something dramatically here in Los Angeles. And I'm happy to say that the county has always been a partner with you and with the city. And I know that there's been a tremendous change now with the new mayor there, Mayor Bass, who also asked us to lock arms on how we address the unhoused and the crisis in our streets. And when you came along, you were also right there to step up to the plate, and we've had many conversations. You were also served at one of my commissioners at LA County. We got to know each other very well. But I want to thank all the people that are here, because after today, you're the folks that are going to be here on the ground, as well as our teams from the county and LA Care. I won't mention everybody because they've already been introduced, but I want to say muchísimas gracias. Qué honor a tener tantos de ustedes aquí, dando este respaldo y haciendo las cosas que necesitamos saber aquí en este parque, un gran parque. You know, I remember back, my mom and dad would talk about when they were, before they were married, they used to come here. When they were courting each other, they spent time in the lake on the boats, and they would walk through the park, and it was a safe place to be. And that's what we want to return it to. Que hay tranquilidad, que hay seguridad, y que hay un vida mejor para todos que viven aquí. I just want to say that, you know, MacArthur Park is iconic. We know that going back many years, but it's so important because it is the cusp of where all immigrants communities come together, and we know that. A fact of life is that this is the epicenter here. In fact, 73% of the population in MacArthur Park neighborhoods are Latinos, and businesses in the area reflect those demographics, providing products, services, and food that you can't find anywhere else in Los Angeles. And that is a jewel. We have to think about that as something positive to continue to build upon. MacArthur Park has the potential to be one of the most beautiful parks in the city of Los Angeles. So remind yourself, one of the most beautiful parks. Look at it today. Let's keep it this way. And let's make sure that we put the attention that's necessary to make that happen. I want to tell you that this year, the County Department of Health Services, through our Harm Reduction Division, identified $450,000 to launch an overdose response team right here at MacArthur Park. Let's hear it for the Department of Health Services Harm Reduction. And it's not just going to be one day or 2 days. It's going to be 7 days a week, okay? So that is going to be very, very important. And soon we'll be opening up the doors to a drop-in center to provide a recovery space and access to care for those suffering from substance abuse disorders. The county is providing an additional $400,000 annually to help fund that space that was just described by the councilwoman. So yes, we are building. We are on the cusp of doing it, and we're not stopping. We're going to continue to do what we can. The county, also Department of Health Services, has a mobile clinic that visits MacArthur Park regularly, serving the unhoused residents here. You heard about that. That started about a year ago. A year ago, we started doing that. And now we have other partners, local CBOs, that we have also asked to come out here. I'll be honest with you, it almost started around COVID because we knew people here needed to get vaccinated and needed to get health care. So we kept going with that same model. And between January and November of this year, the mobile clinic was deployed 33 times in MacArthur Park, completing over 400 appointments. So appointments, that means screenings, that means diagnosis. And the county outreach teams visit the park several times a week, which includes multidisciplinary teams that connect unhoused individuals to housing and supportive services. The homeless outreach and mobile engagement teams provide intensive, street-based psychiatric treatment for those with serious mental illness. Yes, we can do more. Tenemos que ser mucho más. And today is that call for everyone to help get engaged with this. The County Homeless Initiative, that some of you may or may not be aware of, also helped to open an interim housing site for families only a couple of blocks away from here, from MacArthur Park, and it's called Alvarado House. And it's been functioning now for the past 2 or 3 years. The site includes 43 units for families, totaling 172 beds. And believe me, we're already at capacity, so we have to build more housing, more beds, and more safety net services for these folks. The county also invested in the Alvarado House. We put in our own money, $14.6 million, to help with capital improvements and operating costs. And as a member of the board of LA Care, I am so proud that Dr. Amin is here. He is the one that almost 2 years ago helped us launch this effort to start here at MacArthur Park. We told him at one of our meetings what was happening here in MacArthur Park and also across the street at the Metro Center. And with that information, he came out, worked with our staffs, worked with Eunisses Hernandez's staff and everyone else to see that we could begin to program funds and actual teams that are going to be out here providing full-time wraparound healthcare services right here to people experiencing homelessness. I want to give them a big shout out because the work is just starting. Please, for LA Care, por favor. I could go on, and we're doing more. More is going to come in line down the road. We're going to be creating and working with your office, Eunisses, regarding building up some more housing across the street right by the Metro Center. We have already put some improvements there, as you know. There's going to be a whole new effort to have vending out there that'll be more, how could I say, synchronized and will actually be better controlled. There are also facilities for people to use the restroom. Come on. It took a while for Metro to understand. You got to have places for people to use a restroom, and that's available. And also more, I won't say just security, but ambassadors, people with lived experience that work around that area, because a lot of our children and our seniors and a lot of our people who live and work here use that Metro station. They come from Metro, they come from our neighborhoods, and they walk through the park. Let's make it safe together. So I'm delighted to be a part of this effort and want to continue to see this program go. ¿Están unidos con nosotros? Van a trabajar duro para nosotros y las personas que viven aquí, y vamos a luchar. Sí se puede. Woo. And with that, I want to introduce Senator Maria Elena Durazo. Okay. Woo.
Thank you very much, Supervisor. Excuse me for my raspiness here. And thank the council member for jumping in and really tackling something that's extraordinarily difficult and a very big human crisis. Thank you, Supervisor Solis, for all your dedication for years now. MacArthur Park looks very calm and nice right now. It's not the reality of what people who live in the district face every day. There's too much violence, too much despair, too much hopelessness, and that should be unacceptable to every single one of us. The addiction problem is real, and it's probably the worst situation in the country. Just this morning, LA Times columnist Steve Lopez described that reality of death for addiction in MacArthur Park. He gave us details and pictures of what it's like. There's no housing for those struggling with addiction. They face the harsh reality of being on the street. We need more and ongoing effective coordinated effort by all these agencies who are working so hard, by community members, and to create practical and effective solutions. In 2023, the state of California committed $200 million for encampment homeless services. Almost $60 million went for Skid Row, and $14 million went to LASA. MacArthur Park needs the same prioritization and carve-outs that Skid Row receives. I will fight for that in Sacramento. There are a wealth of resources in this area. I spent many years working in my lifetime in this area. The LA County Federation of Labor is just a couple of blocks. Unite Here hotel workers is a few blocks in the other direction. The construction and building trades, the laborers, service employees, city employees, county employees, United Food and Commercial workers, firefighters, amongst many who have their offices, their presence is within blocks. There is a role for a worker-centered approach to lift people out of poverty, help them get their life together. But what about ongoing? What about the hope for those kids? Do those kids see themselves with a permanent, good-paying job? Or do they see themselves as, I got to sell drugs to make a living? We have to not only address their services that they need right now, but we have to get them out of poverty. That's the root cause of what is going on in this area. LA County has its social services office here. The UCLA Labor Center, James Lawson Labor Center is here. We have hospitals and clinics. In fact, we have an empty hospital just 3 blocks away from here. An empty hospital that could be used. We need to coordinate all of these services more and more as the council member and supervisor and others bring resources to have them coordinated. LA Metro, of course, must participate. Alongside the elected officials and stakeholders and those unable to attend, to working with city, county, and state leaders to confront the challenges facing MacArthur Park. And I don't mean just the park itself, not just the physical park, but the people in this community, the children, the families who deserve to be able to say, I can walk outside, go down the street, go to the store, buy what I need, take my children to the playground, and not be afraid of running into somebody who is dying on that same sidewalk. I thank Councilmember Hernandez for laying out these efforts. Together, we're going to advocate for a comprehensive approach to address these challenges. It's time for MacArthur Park to be a beacon of hope again. The change must be real. It must be permanent. It's time to see children. And ask yourselves this question. Would you have your children playing in the park without finding needles beside them? It's time to show the kids growing up here that there is hope. It's the only park we have, and we're going to protect it. Thank you very much. I want to now introduce Recreation and Parks General Manager Jimmy Kim. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Durazo. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jimmy Kim, General Manager of the Department of Recreation and Parks. I want to start off by thanking Councilmember Hernandez and all the community leaders and esteemed guests in attendance today. I am truly honored to take part in this event today that will provide transformative change to how we as a community address some of the greatest challenges here in MacArthur Park. Again, I would be remiss if I don't thank Councilmember Hernandez and all the passionate community advocates that are here today and the organizations involved with this new initiative to bring these programs to MacArthur Park. Councilmember Hernandez, your efforts to uplift and empower our community by providing pathway for those in needs, and the local community that rely on these green spaces for outside recreation are nothing short of inspiring. So thank you for your leadership in steering this initiative forward. I also I would be remiss if I don't recognize the Rec and Park staff that are here today. Stephanie Galvez, I don't know if she's in the audience, but if you're here, just kind of raise your hand, as well as the maintenance staff that really day in and day out are the folks that are here working with their communities, working with the children and the families that utilize these parks. You and the staff within Rec and Parks, we wouldn't be able to do this type of work without you. So thank you for your service and your dedication to our community. We see it day in and day out, and I'm hoping that as we bring together this coalition, we will also provide you with the resources to do your jobs and to serve our communities the way that they deserve. This department, Recreation and Parks, in the last couple of years has been looking at the way we operate. And one of the things that we have been really diving into is how are we being innovative in our approach to provide solutions to the communities we serve. So I'm here today to tell everybody that we're committed in locking arms with the community as well as our elected officials to make sure that we provide the necessary resources for this community to strive once more. Just like Supervisor Solis, I grew up here in LA. I actually grew up in Koreatown. And I remember when I was younger, back in the 80s, during 4th of July, I used to come out to this park with my parents, and we used to walk around the lake and enjoy the fireworks that, way back when it was legal, the fireworks that were around that park. We used to enjoy the pedal boat operations. As a matter of fact, as part of my career, I was a lifeguard, and I remember I worked here at this lake providing lifeguard services for the pedal boat operation. So I know that this park can become what it was many, many years ago and really be a resource for the community. As part of the department's commitment, we are looking forward to, hopefully in the near future, I'm not sure if I could announce this, but I am going to announce it today, that in the very, very near future, hopefully in the first quarter of next year, we will be bringing back the pedal boat operations to MacArthur Lake. And that's a big deal. I think that bringing communities back into our spaces is an important piece. I've always told my staff that in order for us to be good partners with all of the different committee members and organizations here, we got to do our part in making sure that our parks are programmed, that there are children around playing and enjoying these spaces. These spaces are truly areas where we build our memories, and these are the places where, like my memory of being here at the park, I dive into that and I kind of hold on to that to say, what can we do to get us back to that point? So in closing, I don't want to keep rambling on, but I just wanted to say to everybody here that this department, we are committed to collaborating with the council office, all of our partners, to make sure that the resources that this community needs are brought here to this park. So thank you everybody for being here, and thank you for being so supportive. And now I would like to invite up Dr. Samir Amin, the Chief Medical Officer of LA Care Speaks.
Thank you so much for the introduction. And I'm really happy to be here today and to talk to you a little bit about the healthcare aspect of what we're bringing here to MacArthur Park. As the largest publicly operated health plan in the nation, serving more than 2.6 million Angelenos, including between 50 and 60,000 people experiencing homelessness, we at LA Care are so grateful and excited to be partnering with City Council District 1, the Supervisorial District 1, the LA County Department of Health Services, and others to bring more healthcare and social services that are direly needed here in MacArthur Park. To better serve our members experiencing homelessness, we developed a county-wide field medicine program which launched just recently in July of this year. Our program includes $90 million in funding from both LA Care and HealthNet over the next 5 years to support additional healthcare and social services for people experiencing homelessness across the county. That's $90 million in funding that we're bringing back into our communities to improve healthcare. Our field medicine program includes the Skid Row Care Collaborative, which was designed to bring targeted services to Skid Row where there's critical need. The Skid Row Care Collaborative includes harm reduction services, expanded access to urgent and primary care, on-site specialty care, observation beds, as well as a transit shuttle to help people access these services, because you can't have access in name only. You actually need to be able to get the care to the people who need it. We're now building off that model and the existing Department of Health Services Health Hub to create an even larger care collaborative right here in MacArthur Park. As part of the field medicine program, we're working to bring enhanced field medicine, harm reduction, and other services to the park in a targeted and coordinated way so that people can get their care not only in an urgent instance, but also longitudinal care, so that they can get dialed back into the system and make sure that they're healthy for years to come. We'll have more to share on the MacArthur Park Care Collaborative in the coming weeks and months, but in the meantime, it is my pleasure to introduce Shoshana Scholar, the Director of the Harm Reduction Division at the Department of Health Services, an extraordinary leader and a key partner as we've launched the Skid Row Care Collaborative and work towards a similar solution right here in MacArthur Park. Thank you.
I'm Shoshana Scholar, Director of the Harm Reduction Division at LA County Health Services. Thank you all for inviting me. Like all of us here, I care deeply about MacArthur Park and everyone who lives and works here. There are no simple solutions, but together we're making a difference. With our community partners, we're scaling up programs and services across LA County to keep people alive and safe. This is critical because we've been in the worst overdose crisis in history. In the last 4 years, we've been able to distribute over 1 million doses of naloxone, 100,000 fentanyl test strips, and community members have reversed more than 35,000 overdoses. Last year, for the first time, the number of overdose deaths in LA County has plateaued. And that is a step in the right direction and completely due to our shared efforts and community members stepping up and saving lives. We and the community organizations we work with bring care directly to people in places that need it the most. This includes MacArthur Park, where we have the overdose reversal teams from Home with Healthcare, and the Housing for Health mobile health clinics, street-based outreach teams, multiple times a week. They're boots on the ground, ensuring that people know help is never far away. LA County's approach emphasizes dignity and respect as we try to reduce stigma for our community members struggling with substance use and homelessness. We all want safer parks and healthier communities. That's why we'll also be launching a DHS Health Hub, a place where people can come inside to receive life-saving supplies and get connected to healthcare, mental health services, substance use supports, housing, and social services. These connections and relationships can empower people to regain and stabilize lives. We work closely with the LA County Department of Public Health, who's reaching the 95% initiative, increases the availability of treatment services for people at highest need, including MacArthur Park community members. I want to give a special acknowledgement to Supervisor Solis and to the Councilwoman Hernandez for their deep commitment, coordination, and advocacy in MacArthur Park and for this community. Thank you also to DHS Director Dr. Galley, our close partners at the LA County Department of Public Health, Substance Abuse Prevention Control Division, and LA Care, and the community organizations and everyone involved in improving this area. Change takes time, but if we focus on the work in front of us and we continue to support those in need, we will see a brighter future for MacArthur Park and the communities that surround it. We look forward to continuing to see tremendous progress in 2025. Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure to present Mark Loringer, CEO of Chrysalis Speaks. Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you, Councilmember Hernandez and Senator Durazo and Supervisor Solis for your leadership on this issue. Chrysalis is not just any employment agency. We're a 40-year-old nonprofit that works with folks that have faced significant barriers to employment, folks that have experienced homelessness, folks that have been involved in the justice system. And as Shoshana just mentioned, respect and dignity, we know that employment provides that respect and dignity that everybody in this community deserves. We are incredibly proud to be partnering with the council member in the city on helping make MacArthur Park the potential that it should be, that it could be. This work isn't just about cleaning sidewalks or the park or restoring the lake. Those are all important, but it's about what the people in this community and what they deserve and making sure they get access to this community asset as well as all the services that they deserve as community members here in Westlake and in MacArthur. Everybody that's up here today is here because they are not willing to throw their hands up and say, it's somebody else's problem. It's all of our problems. That's why we are here today, and we are here today to come together to make a difference. A good job and a steady paycheck is one of the best ways to make that happen. And in fact, in the latest homeless count survey, economic disruption was the #1 cause of folks falling into homelessness in the first place. So we clearly believe that a steady job with a living wage is one of the best ways that we can address this. We help folks get over the barriers that are standing in their way through deep case management, trauma-informed care, and transitional jobs. And that's where this particular project comes in. We've got 25 of our clients that are working in the community right here on the streets right around here to help beautify the community. And it's about, yes, picking up 45,000 pounds of trash and 100 bulky items over the last 6 weeks, but it's also about giving members of this community an opportunity to give back to their community, to get a paycheck doing it, but also to feel that dignity and that respect from the community. By investing in our people, we are investing in our community in the city of Los Angeles. And Councilwoman, I appreciate you including us in this and your leadership on this matter. I would now like to introduce someone else who's deeply involved in jobs in this community, Martha Arvello.
Buenas tardes. Qué increíble que este es un día de nuestro invierno, right? This is a day of our winter here in Los Angeles. I'm Marta Arevalo. I'm the Executive Director of the Central American Resource Center, Carecen. And one of our major programs at Carecen is for economic development, and it's our day labor center just down the street. I would like to first recognize our day laborers who are here today. Please stand up. A los jornaleros que están aquí visitándonos, apoyándonos, por favor, párense. Thank you. Gracias. As you just mentioned earlier, these are community leaders that are not just part of a beautification team collaborating with other teams, but they're community members, they're community leaders who want to feel like they matter to the community, want to be seen, but also want to be a part of the solution. So thank you so much for being here today and for celebrating this incredible opportunity with us. As an organizational member of CD1, Carecen welcomes initiatives to engage and empower Angelinos, contributing and investing in our MacArthur Park community. These initiatives are rooted in compassion and collaboration, demonstrating our collective commitment to working together towards creating a MacArthur Park that is safe, healthy, and accessible to everyone. We are honored to stand alongside our partners in this transformative effort. It's something that has been happening for years, but now we have this collaborative that is even stronger, and we're going to see real change. MacArthur Park has long been a welcoming hub for immigrants. It has been a hub of resilience, rich in culture, and hardworking community. This community we serve here embody the spirit of perseverance and these programs and represent an investment in that spirit. This initiative shows our belief in the potential and dignity of every individual who calls the MacArthur Park area home. We're excited to partner with organizations here today to provide opportunities to several community members, including the day labor community, Through these initiatives, the community will have the opportunity to contribute to the heartfelt effort of coming together as community leaders in revitalizing the MacArthur Park area. Today is a powerful reminder of what we can envision together and achieve together when organizations, city, state, county leaders, and community members come together with a shared purpose. The initiative announced today goes beyond public safety. It's about community empowerment and creating opportunities and addressing critical needs with humanity and care. While today's announcement is a significant step forward, it is just part of the beginning. It's just a new phase of the work that has been happening for so long. The success of these initiatives will depend on the ongoing support and involvement of everyone here. We will need the unwavering support of local and state officials, community organizations, and community members. Let's continue to work together to ensure these goals and these initiatives reach their full potential and inspire the kind of lasting change that uplifts members in our community. And lastly, I just want to acknowledge the leadership, creativity, strength, ganas, and pure passion of Councilmember Eunisses Hernandez, who has brought us together, has made this possible. I just told her the other day that I want to be like her when I grow up. So she is somebody that inspires us all, and we are with you. We have your back. We're ready to throw down. And now it's my pleasure to introduce an incredible leader who has been in the fight for decades and a friend, Alex Sanchez, Executive Director of Homies Unidos.
Good morning. My name is Alex Sanchez. I'm the director of Homies Unidos, and we've been working around the issues of youth violence, intervention, as well as reentry. And we started getting involved in regards to what was happening around the MacArthur Park area with the homeless encampments. We started realizing that there were many formerly incarcerated people, as well as gang-involved individuals being homeless, living in these areas. They made it difficult for even some peace navigators to go in there and serve those populations. And that's how we ended up getting involved. We started what we call the Homeless Peace Initiative. And with that, we were able to go in there and kind of make a safe passage for folks to come in and help provide those services to many of these folks that needed it. But in the process, we realized that there were many obstacles along the way. And I think that today demonstrates that we need to put those obstacles away or move them out of the way, because it was difficult to get somebody out of those encampments if they had to wait 6 months for housing. If they needed to wait in line or get, be found in another encampment, because people move around. So we felt that it was really difficult to coordinate something in which we will help clean up an area and the following day they were back because they didn't get housing. They didn't get the proper things that they needed in order to stay away. And this park is one of those examples that it's a beautiful park. I used to come here as a child as well when I first arrived from El Salvador in 1979. And through the time, it became an area that was known for violence, the crap epidemic in the 80s and 90s. And now it's not much known for the violence in regards to the gangs, but it's known because the sad story of people's desperation ending up in this park, homeless, on drugs, desperate for something, and sometimes this is the place that they find that desperation among others helpless people. I hope that now that through the leadership of Eunisses Hernandez and the team that she's bringing together, we can address these issues and help folks clean this park up, welcome all the communities back in here, but also help those people that are in here that are desperate, not just moved out, not just kicked out to the sides, but to get them out of here in an honorable way. Something in which they could go back and reestablish their lives and go back to being productive. I remember being homeless as a child myself. Nobody came to me. The gangs were the only thing that protected me. And that's how I learned how to survive in the streets. We have many youth that are coming that are immigrants ending up in the streets, ending up in these encampments where they don't have a choice but to join something to help them protect themselves. So that's why this funding that we're talking about, it's not going to be enough. It's not enough. But I think that if we are able to all work together and demonstrate that this is something that can accomplish helping fix this park up, I think that we'll be able to get more funding allocated to work not only here, but with the street vendors across the street. They own this park as much as we do. They work every day. They bring their kids here. They struggle. And not much has done to really address the issues of the street vendors. So I think that we need to include everyone in here. I didn't see Last Hour Path here today. I hope they're able to be part of it as well, because we need them. We need them to house those folks that we're going to be taking out of here. We need them to go into a process that can be dignified, and they need to be there. So hopefully, I'm optimistic. I always am against all adversities, and I think that we can make this park beautiful again, not just on this day that we are here, but in every day, no matter what time of night, because you come here late at night and it's not the same park. So hopefully with the collaboration of everyone here today, we can make this happen for our community. And please, do not make this park clean for gentrifiers to come in, because that's what happens when those communities get cleaned up. That's what happened with the gang injunctions when they came in and labeled a lot of our people as gang members and persecuted them and cleaned up the street from gang members. Then our families got kicked out and we couldn't go back to live in those communities. Now those communities are being marketed as New York style living. And we can't afford to go back to those communities. So if we're going to beautify this park, let's also make sure that the 99% of the renters in this park stay here as well. Thank you. I had to introduce somebody else, Cristina Navarro with Healing Urban Barrios.
Hi everyone, I'm Cristina Navarro, founder and executive director of Healing Urban Barrios. It is an honor to stand alongside these amazing community heroes, which is all of you, and amazing organizations to uplift MacArthur Park and surrounding areas. But first and foremost, as always, I have to thank the teams of Healing Urban Barrios that are throughout the city, all throughout Council District, majority of Council District 1, with our partner Eunisses. Some of the team members here today, Valerie, Claudia, Maritza, Aaron, Michael, Richie was here too. There you go. Ozzy, sorry. Ozzy, thank you guys for coming today, but these are some of the familiar faces you will see in the community. And none of this work is possible without them every day coming down to the street, being boots on the ground, and really interacting with the community members. The Council District 1 Peace Ambassador Program is a vital collaboration with Councilwoman Eunisses Hernandez, designed to bring essential resources, support to our community. I have full confidence in the Peace Ambassador Program. I have full confidence in Healing Urban Barrios teams and the teams of Homing Unidos. Together, we're gonna work together and bring the resources needed to everyone here. We cannot do this without partnership and collaboration. We cannot do this without communication. And most importantly, we're gonna show what we could do as a collaboration to get more funding in so we could keep putting more boots on the ground, because that's what this park, this community deserves. The Peace Ambassadors will serve this community with pride, dedication, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. And we have to. Everyone deserves that. It is a right that we serve these people with excellence and a commitment that we are going to help them to the best of our ability, to the most that they're going to accept our assistance. Even if it is planting a seed, we are the seed planters. Sorry, my phone keeps going in and out. We are the people, for the people, by the people. And our mission is clear. It is to uplift and empower the community members here in the park, surrounding areas, and all of Los Angeles. Thank you. Oh, my turn, sorry. I have the name. I'd like to introduce Aurora Morales, Program Manager for the Center of Human Harm Reduction. Thank you.
Hi everybody, how we doing? Good? All right. So my name is Aurora Morales. I am the Program Manager for Homeless Healthcare Los Angeles' Center for Harm Reduction. Thank you to Eunisses Hernandez and your team for inviting us here. Thank you to LA County Department of Health Services for your funding and for making this possible, right? So in response to the recent overdose epidemic, we have rigorously trained and mobilized overdose response units to go out into communities that have been hit the hardest by one of our nation's most devastating public health crises. MacArthur Park is one of those communities. We know all too well the ramifications of this crisis and how they have impacted the lives of everyone who lives here, works here, goes to school here, or is just trying to survive. To give some context, for the past 2 decades, homeless healthcare has been intervening in community overdoses and providing compassionate and humanizing care to those in need. We didn't do it because we were asked to do it. We did it because we knew it was the right thing. Simply put, we knew we had to have each other's back. We had to have each other's back. And like the harm reductionists before us who survived and developed ways and strategies to keep themselves alive during the HIV crisis, now in this new crisis, we have been able to build upon these strategies in a comprehensive and caring manner. Our overdose response team started in Skid Row in 2020 with a 4-person team operating 5 days a week on foot. We were able to demonstrate that our efforts and our strategies are highly effective in combating this public health crisis. With proper funding, resources, and more importantly, community collaboration, we have more than tripled our teams, expanded our hours, and recently extended our reach here to MacArthur Park. Since the launch of the initial program, our overdose responders have saved over 400 lives on Skid Row, and we are here in MacArthur Park to provide those same supports. Our MacArthur Park team is here today, led by Angel Borjas. I also have Dante Edwards, Emmanuel Camacho, and Ryan Boozer. If you guys can raise your hands. These awesome guys right here. Going into the trenches, really helping everybody in need and just being there. Our MacArthur Park team is here today, and thanks to Angel Borjas' experience in the park, it has become a critical component to the success and integration of our teams in and around the community. Their response efforts started in October of this year, and the team has saved 23 lives and prevented countless overdoses before they even occurred. Yes. We are committed to ending this crisis and to showing our community that there is hope, that we have effective solutions that we can implement, that our loved ones don't have to keep dying from overdoses out here on the streets. Together, in a united effort, we can make a huge impact to improve the quality of life for everyone in this beautiful park. Thank you. Adelante. I wasn't the only one who did it. And I have Alex Sarano coming up. Thank you.
Buenas tardes a todos. Qué calor. Qué calor. Y bueno, soy Alex Sarno y voy a compartir algunas palabras en español, and also I'm going to be sharing some words in English for everybody. Para quienes no sepan, soy presidente del Consejo Vecinal de Westlake South. Para quienes no lo sepan, los barrios de Westlake South y Westlake North son justamente al este de este parque, y también MacArthur Park pertenece a nosotros. So, hi everybody, I'm Alex Sarno. I'm the president of the Westlake South Neighborhood Council. Westlake South and Westlake North are just east of the park, and MacArthur Park is technically a part of our neighborhood council boundary as well. Quiero expresar mi más profundo agradecimiento a la concejala Hernández y su equipo por su liderazgo y compromiso con nuestra comunidad. Este anuncio representa un paso importante para enfrentar los desafíos que han impactado a nuestra comunidad por demasiado tiempo. I really want to express my deepest gratitude to Councilmember Hernandez and her team for their leadership and commitment to our community. The announcement represents an important step in addressing the challenges that have affected our community for too long. Hoy celebramos una visión compartida, convertir a nuestra comunidad en un lugar más limpio, seguro y saludable para todos. Estas iniciativas son un reflejo del enfoque Care First, que prioriza el bienestar de todas las personas. Today we celebrate a shared vision, transforming our community into a cleaner, safer, and healthier place for everyone. These initiatives are a reflection of Care First, which is an approach that prioritizes people's well-being. También agradezco a todas las organizaciones involucradas, como Carecen, Chrysalis, Homies Unidos, Healing Urban Urbanos, LA Care, and Homeless Healthcare, for your commitment to our community. Un gran aplauso para todas las organizaciones, por favor. Significa mucho. No obstante, deberíamos reconocer que estos avances llegan en un momento crítico. La ciudad enfrenta una crisis de déficit presupuestario que impacta a nuestra comunidad de realizar cambios de manera sostenible. However, we have to acknowledge that these advances come at a critical time. The city is facing a budget deficit that impacts our ability to implement sustainable change, like Alex noted. Es importante subrayar el liderazgo de la concejala Hernández con respecto a este tema. Recordémonos que ella fue la primera voz valiente en contra del presupuesto de la ciudad en 2023 y nuevamente en 2024, destacando su compromiso con nuestra comunidad. Este tipo de liderazgo me inspira. Me inspira a luchar por una ciudad manejada con responsabilidad y eficacia. It's important to highlight that Councilmember Hernandez's leadership on this matter. She reminded us with her courageous voice to vote against the city budget in 2023 and again in 2024, underscoring her commitment to our community. This kind of leadership inspires me to fight for a city that's managed with responsibility and effectiveness. Quiero decir, de parte de Westlake South, gracias a todos por su dedicación, su amor a esta comunidad y también por no rendirse. Juntos podemos construir un MacArthur Park digno de orgullo de todos. So I just want to thank everybody here that's put in all of this work, for your dedication, for your love to this community, and for not giving up. Together we can build a MacArthur Park that serves everybody. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Alex. And thank you to all of our partners who are standing with us here today. Thank you, Senator Maria Elena Durazo, for being with us here today. Not just being with us here today, but also working hand in glove again to bring more solutions here. To Supervisor Hilda Solis, to Jimmy Kim and the Recreation and Parks Department, to LA Care, LA County Department of Health Services, Carecen, Chrysalis, Homies Unidos, Healing Urban Barrios, Homeless Healthcare, and the Circle teams that are out here. This is not the first time we've gathered here to announce investments in this park, and it definitely will not be the last time. We are dedicated to this community, and we are dedicated to the future of MacArthur Park and Westlake. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Muchísimas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Gracias.